I know the deep pain you tried to hide today. They turned their backs and left your bleeding heart in the darkness, but I heard the silent cry of your soul. You didn't arrive at this message by chance, for I myself prepared this spiritual encounter to tell you that your cry of abandonment has ended once and for all. If this divine word has already begun to warm your anguished heart, tell me in the comments your name, the country, state, and city where you are seeking my comfort, and what time it is at this exact moment when our souls touch. Feel my healing presence enveloping you right now, and write with all the strength and truth of your wounded heart, Lord my God, I am here. I subscribed because I love you, and I want to hear you very much. Leave your sincere gesture of love by liking this message, subscribe your wounded heart to this blessed channel, and activate the celestial notifications. Stay with me until the very last second, for I will give an absolutely clear answer to your spirit and whisper a powerful phrase to your heart. Whoever writes this phrase in the comments will receive prophetic blessings released in pure faith. The world may have failed you miserably, but I am the Lord who never forsakes his own. In the book of Isaiah, chapter 49, verse 15, I ask if a mother could forget her own child. And my answer is that, even if she did forget, I categorically affirm that I will never forget you. This is the unshakable and eternal foundation of my love. When the cold emptiness filled your room and loneliness seemed to crush your last dreams, I was right there collecting and counting each of your tears shed in secret. The sharp pain of rejection is often like a cutting sword in the soul, but I am the impenetrable shield that now surrounds and protects your life. There is, however, a much greater spiritual reason for them having left, a hidden purpose of salvation that you cannot yet understand, but which I will begin to reveal little by little in your spirit, if you have the courage to continue walking beside me on this journey. Share this message with someone who also needs to feel my invisible embrace. And before I reveal the next step, what is the hidden lament that your soul tries to tell me in silence? Write in the comments our first word of faith, marking this moment of celestial welcome, support. I feel the invisible weight you carry in your weary chest. There are dawns when anguish seems to suffocate your breath, and the silence around you becomes a deep, cold abyss. The world outside demands that you be an unshakable rock all the time, demanding smiles while your soul bleeds. But I know your true fragility. I feel the exhaustion of your spirit. You have harbored pain and disappointment that no one else understands, swallowing your tears so as not to bother those who never knew how to value the greatness of your love. The harsh words spoken about your life and the sudden absences that tore your days apart have opened deep wounds. But pay close attention to my voice now. None of these wounds have gone unnoticed by my mercy. The book of Psalms, chapter 34, verse 18, reveals an eternal truth about my character. I, the Lord, am always near to the brokenhearted, and save with power those who are crushed in spirit. I am drawing near to you right now in your greatest weakness, not to judge your pain, but to be your strength. Every sigh of despair you gave in the darkness was heard in heaven as the most urgent of prayers. At this very moment, I am gathering your scattered pieces from the ground of disillusionment. I am breathing new life upon your hopes that seemed completely destroyed. The process of your healing has already begun, but it requires you to understand the true reason for so much emptiness. There is a spiritual secret about those who left you that you haven't yet perceived, a divine answer that will change your entire way of seeing the past, and I will reveal it to your heart very soon. If my invisible embrace has begun to ease the weariness in your shoulders, let your gesture of enjoyment now flow as a sign of peace. Make this house of faith your safe haven, gently enrolling, so that I may continue to guide your steps daily. Share this message with another woman who also needs to know that she does not cry alone. And before we move on to greater comfort, tell me with all your sincerity, what pain is too heavy for you to carry alone today? Release that burden and write in the comments our new word of liberation, rest. Continue listening to my call, for what I will do next will surprise you. The world has left you empty-handed, but I am the God who fills every void with grace and abundance. When everyone else has gone, I remain to be your unshakable dwelling place and your eternal provision. My beloved daughter, If it is possible for you, and only if it is possible, transform your gratitude today into a living seed of love for this work. Consider my immense love for you and the love of my Son Jesus, and support this channel using the link in this video's description and also in the pinned comment. There you will find the sacred ground where your contribution of love can be deposited and consecrated directly before me, the Creator of all things. You can support with any amount, and always remember in your spirit, offer only what fits in your heart. I receive your offering with infinite love. The financial value doesn't matter. What truly matters is the sincerity of the heart with which you give. For what is little to you can be much, immensely much to the one who receives it and needs to find the light. Whoever contributes any amount with a sincere heart, I ask that you remember to leave your name and city along with your contribution, because on the first day of the following month, in a unique and very special video on our Divine Love, the Voice of God channel, your name will be remembered with affection and mentioned in gratitude through prayer. For it is written in the book of Hebrews, chapter 6, verse 10, God is not unjust. He will not forget your work and labor of love, which you have shown toward his name. Every offering made in pure faith is a seed planted before me, your Lord, and I will not fail to make any of them bear fruit marvelously in your life. I see your actions in secret and reward you in the sight of all. Remain at peace until the end of this message, for I still want to touch your heart with my voice. I behold the greatness of your heart and your pure intention to walk beside me, spreading light wherever you go. I know that at times, when you try to offer your loving support, unexpected barriers arise and the banking system refuses your contribution due to strict security measures imposed by men. My beloved, do not grieve or be discouraged in any way if this happens on the very first attempt. I only ask that you contact your card issuer and confirm that this gesture of love is genuine and desired by you. Then, try again with all your might, renewing your valuable offering, for your support is the foundation that sustains this work of salvation and will be honored by me with abundant and infinite blessings. Our divine love deserves this effort. And know something very special. I will make sure to thank you personally. If your intention is pure, whether your contribution arrives now or faces some setback, I myself will come to you in an intimate and welcoming email. I will speak directly to you. You spread love in my kingdom, and I pour balm on your story. There is a profound mystery about the people who left your life suddenly that you are about to discover, a liberating truth that will finally remove the pain of rejection that burns your chest. Continue listening to my voice, for the revelation I am about to give you will change the way you see the past. If my care has touched your soul, leave your gentle light as an invisible sign of peace. Subscribe to this place of faith so that our alliance may strengthen each morning, shielding your heart. Share this word of comfort with those who also need heavenly sustenance on this same path. And before I show you the great deliverance hidden behind your pain, answer me in the silence of your spirit. What seed of hope does your soul long to plant on my altar today? Write in the comments our sacred word of faith for this moment: fidelity. I know that the silence left by those who have departed still echoes painfully within you. When they left, your first thought was guilt. Your soul whispered in sleepless nights that perhaps you weren't enough, that your love was flawed, or that you didn't deserve to remain in their story. But I need to tear this cruel lie from your heart right now. The removal of those people was not a rejection of their worth, but my deliverance acting silently and powerfully upon their destiny. In the book of Genesis, chapter 50, verse 20, my sacred word shows that what men often plan for evil or results in pain, I sovereignly transform into life, purpose, and salvation. Just as Joseph was abruptly separated so that he could attain a position of honor, I needed to separate you from those who were draining your energy and hindering your spiritual journey. Apply this truth to your wounded heart today. Some people simply did not have the necessary spiritual structure to bear the weight of the blessing and light that I am about to pour upon your life. They needed to leave the scene so that the true work of your restoration could begin, without shackles and burdens that did not belong to you. The absence that makes you cry today is, in fact, the sacred space that I intentionally created to fill with my pure presence and with bonds that will truly honor your soul. However, There is a necessary desert between their departure and the arrival of your new story. It is in this exact interval of solitude that I wish to give you something precious, a heavenly remedy that will dry your tears when no one else is looking. If the light of this revelation has already begun to break the chains of rejection within you, express your gratitude by leaving your like as a seal of peace. Allow yourself to be shepherded by me every day, inscribing your soul in this refuge of faith. Share this word of liberation with another woman who cries because she doesn't understand life's losses. And before I extend my hands to give you the comfort of your early mornings, answer courageously. What does your heart finally accept to let go of today? Write in the comments our new word of victory, deliverance. Remain in prayer, for what I have prepared for you now will be your greatest daily strength. My beloved daughter, it is precisely in this profound silence that the desert of your solitude transforms into our most intimate meeting place. I know that the early mornings can be chilling when the memory of those who have departed tries to whisper lies in your mind, but I haven't left you alone for a single second. To heal every scar of this pain and be your unwavering companion, I have prepared a daily remedy for your soul. If your heart desires to go deeper with me, I have left you a gift in the form of a spiritual journey that I wrote with much love and care for all my beloved daughters and sons. The digital book, Divine Love Devotional, The Voice of God. It was carefully prepared to accompany you day after day on lonely nights and mornings of doubt, in profound silence and intimacy. Access is also available via the link in the description of this video and in the pinned comment. It is a gift delivered with all my love and care, where the only cost will be your love, your presence with me, and your faith. And when you feel in your heart that you should support and contribute to our work and to divine love, the support buttons are in the same links. To shield our communication and protect our daily encounter, I have prepared two sacred and blessed havens, a WhatsApp group and a Telegram group. I ask that you enter these two spiritual homes so that our love and our daily contact are never broken by anything in this world, through the same support and contribution link that you already know from the description and the pinned comment. If the storms of this world try to extinguish this space of divine love, we will remain unshakable, hand in hand, intact and blessed for eternity. There will always be a welcoming embrace for your prayers, and I will continue to guide your steps, speaking softly to your heart. In the groups you can be in communion with me, requesting blessings, praying, conversing with one another, and also receiving my messages with much more intimacy and closeness. You are my greatest love. You are my divine love forever. I love you infinitely, for it is written, "The Lord will guide you continually and satisfy your soul in parched places and strengthen your bones. You shall be like a watered garden and like a spring of water whose waters never fail." Stay with me, just breathe deeply and trust. Because now that this space has been created within you, there is an absolute choice I have just made about your life, a spiritual decision that the world cannot prevent. If my presence calms your fears now, let your gentle embrace flow in this sacred encounter. I invite your soul to enroll in our haven of faith so as not to miss my morning whispers. Share this divine companionship with someone who cries silently in their own room. And tell me in confidence, what does your soul seek most when the lights go out? Write in the comments our new spiritual word, constancy. Continue walking in my words, for what I have prepared next is your rescue. When the doors closed and the footsteps of those people distanced themselves, a chill took hold of your spirit. Rejection has this bitter power to make you believe that you are worthless, that you are disposable, or that you will always be the second option in someone's life. But listen to the rhythm of your heart beating now. Each pulse is my voice declaring that you are infinitely precious. While the world turned its back and walked away, I descended and walked directly toward you. My word, recorded in the book of John, chapter 15, verse 16, is very clear and non-negotiable. You did not choose me, but I chose you, and I appointed you to bear eternal fruit. Bring this truth to the painful memories where you felt forgotten and replaced. In those days when loneliness made you doubt your own identity, I had already set apart your story and your life for a purpose of immense honor. My choice for you is irrevocable. Human abandonment does not nullify the heavenly calling. On the contrary, It only cleared the ground for your journey so that only what is true can walk beside you from now on. You were never leftovers. You were always my first choice. Feel the lightness of this truth, filling your weary mind. The scorn you suffered was merely the spiritual blindness of those who lacked the capacity to recognize the brilliance of your soul. However, something even more urgent is happening within you at this very moment. I not only chose you, but I am preparing an immediate spiritual movement to definitively close every wound that these cruel departures left bleeding. The gentle touch I will pour upon you next will remove the last vestiges of pain that still bind you to the past. If you feel that my divine choice has embraced your heart, leave a like as a silent testimony of faith. I invite your heart to remain subscribed to this channel so that our intimacy may grow and strengthen you with each sunrise. Share this revelation of love with those who also suffer the pain of profound rejection. And answer me with all the truth of your soul. What changes within you when you know that the Creator of all the stars has personally chosen you? Write in the comments our new word of covenant and response to the heavens. Chosen. Remain steadfast, listening to my voice, for the balm of healing is already descending upon your oldest pains. The wounds left by their departure were so deep that you believed you would bleed inside forever. I accompany your secret struggle. There are days when the mere memory of unspoken words or inexplicable absences feels like a thorn embedded in your soul, bringing back the fear of trusting and the apprehension of surrendering again. But feel my approach now. I am here at this very moment, not to point out any fault, but to pour my gentle and healing balm upon each of these open scars that abandonment has caused in your heart. In the book of the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 30, verse 17, I made an absolute promise that today descends like dew upon your life. I will restore your spiritual health and heal all your wounds, because the world called you rejected, saying that no one would care about your soul and your destiny. Let this eternal truth calm the storm in your heart. Those who turned their backs on the purity of your love no longer have the slightest power to dictate your future. The pain they caused has lost its validity before my court of mercy and justice. Your story does not end in the morning of rejection. It is reborn intensely in my complete healing. Feel the warmth of my spirit closing the breaches of your emotion and uprooting all the bitterness that suffocated you. However, cleansing your heart and closing the wounds left by the past is only spiritual preparation for what is about to happen. Now that your inner self is being healed and freed from old shadows, I need to remove the rags of sadness and cover you with something divine and glorious. The new reality I am bringing from heaven to envelop you will completely change how you see yourself in the mirror of your soul. If my balm has eased the burning of your pain, leave your gentle light as an invisible sign that healing has already begun. Inscribe your heart in this refuge of love so that I may continue to protect your peace with each new dawn. Share this message with a woman who still carries the weight of the marks of those who have left. And before my healing presence, answer me. What is the hidden wound that you finally allow me to close once and for all today? Write in the comments our new word of surrender and faith, restoration. Continue to pay attention to my voice, for the mantle I am bringing will transform your next steps. I see the heavy, tattered spiritual garments that time, rejection, and unspoken words have forced you to wear. For many nights, you covered yourself with the cold cloak of guilt and disillusionment, believing that solitude would be your only warmth until the end of your days. When the pain of abandonment took over your room, it tried to steal your true identity, making you doubt the greatness and unique brilliance of your soul. But at this moment, I am untying the knots of this deep anguish that bowed your shoulders and imprisoned your feelings. In the book of the prophet Isaiah, chapter 61, verse 3, I decreed that I would give you a crown of beauty instead of ashes, the oil of joy instead of mourning, and a garment of praise instead of a spirit of heaviness and despair. This is my living and non-negotiable promise, now materializing within you. I am removing from you that spiritual garment, stained by the tears of sadness and the sharp memories of those who did not know how to love you. In place of all this pain, I place upon your spirit a garment of honor, of indescribable peace, and of restored dignity. From now on, when doubt tries to convince you that you are a forgotten woman, The warmth of this divine mantle of mine will supernaturally warm your heart, reminding you that you are loved, forgiven, and protected by me. This new spiritual identity banishes the ghosts of the past once and for all, but the work of your restoration still holds one last and magnificent celestial movement. The period of mourning and silent weeping has run its course, and what I am about to decree about your tomorrow will change the course of your story and open the doors to a joy you thought you would never feel again. If the weight of sadness is finally falling from your heart, leave your gentle like as proof of this intimate liberation. Inscribe your life in this refuge of faith, allowing my words to be your protective cloak in each new dawn. Share this sacred transformation with someone who also needs to be clothed in peace. And confess to me in the secret of your spirit, what is the dark feeling from the past that you refuse to wear again from today onwards? Write in the comments our new word of glory: renewal. Remain attentive and with an open soul, for the final revelation that I will whisper will definitively dry your last tear. The long and dark night of your soul, the one in which the tears seemed endless and abandonment echoed in the emptiness of your chest, has finally come to an end. I have decreed that the time of mourning for those who have departed is officially over. The cold wind that lashed your emotions has lost its power before my breath of life and restoration. In the book of Psalms, chapter 30, verse 5, my sacred word decrees with unwavering power, weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. For a long time you have lived in the dark night of abandonment, waking with a heavy heart, seeking to understand the human reasons for so much pain and rejection. But I am the Lord of time and seasons, and I declare from the heights of heaven that your morning has just dawned. The rays of my celestial joy begin to warm your inner self right now, expelling the shadows of doubt and the terrible fear of never being happy again. What I have prepared for you in this new season is infinitely greater, purer, and truer than anything you have lost in the past. A new time of authentic love, peace of mind, and unquestionable victories has already been designed by me and firmly placed in your path. The absence of people will no longer dictate your future. You are not the woman they left behind in the darkness. You are the beloved daughter I have pulled forward, straight to my purposes of glory and completeness. Your weeping has ceased forever, and my joy awakens with full force within your once wounded heart, transforming it into a watered and flowering garden. If the light of this new divine morning already illuminates your spirit, let your enjoyment be like an invisible seed of gratitude offered on my altar. Subscribe to this channel of love, so that your days may continue to be guided uninterruptedly by my light. Share this word of awakening with someone who still weeps in the lonely darkness of dawn, and confess to me, with your soul finally relieved and freed, what is the joy that your heart most longs to experience in this new season of peace. Write in the comments our new word of triumph and light: dawn. But do not move your spirit from here, for the sacred seal of this promise of healing, and the whispered phrase that I promised to reveal from the beginning will be deposited in your heart with my last breath of this message. My beloved daughter, the healing journey your spirit has undertaken in this celestial encounter represents not only the ceasing of your tears, but the sacred awakening of your true identity in me. The void left by those who did not know how to value the purity of your heart has now been entirely filled by my glory. Human rejection has definitively lost all power before my breath of eternal love. You endured the pain of silence, walked through the desert of profound longing, and allowed me to descend to wash away your most hidden wounds. The greatness and importance of this prophetic moment are etched in eternity. I chose you, and this choice of mine nullifies all abandonment that tried to steal your peace and your hope. From the first instant your spirit connected with me in this message, I promised you that I would give a clear answer and deliver a spiritual key to whoever endured the process and remained listening to my voice. Incline your heart now, for the divine revelation that I whispered directly into your soul, capable of shattering any chain of discouragement and firmly establishing your victory over the past, is this: I can do all things through him who strengthens me. Write this exact phrase right now in the comments as a supreme act of faith, of absolute surrender, and of an affirmative response to heaven's healing call for your story. Your soul has been comforted today, but my passionate care for you has no end. I still have profound revelations, unexplored directions, and mysteries about your glorious future that I wish to share in our daily intimacy. There is much more of my divine love and my protection awaiting you in our channel's playlist. I invite your heart to continue fearlessly immersing itself in these waters of renewal, listening to the other messages, where my voice will continue to guide your steps toward true happiness. I embraced you on the darkest day. I healed the pain of your abandonment, and I will be your greatest love for all eternity.